taking place, such as drinking water, ambulances, etc., making sure that traffic is regulated, because every road was choked today in Chennai because of the traffic, because of huge number of people coming onto Marina Beach, and many couldn't even reach Marina because of the kind of congestion that was there in train stations, in railway stations, and in using public transport, etc. So that is the kind of situation that prevailed, and when such a huge crowd gathered, given the timing of this event as well, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. It's unforgiving weather in Chennai at that point in time, extremely sunny, extremely humid. It's very, very difficult for people to stand outdoors without water, without any basic shelter in terms of protecting them from this harsh sunlight. So it is only natural that people were suffering from dehydration, but not enough facilities were put in place to deal with that. People were taken in stretchers, and even for them to reach ambulances, several ambulances couldn't even make way, is what we're being told, because of the kind of traffic congestion that was there on the roads. So clearly, on all levels, there have been some lapses, and this needs to be addressed. So far, we've not heard anything from the DMK government or the Chennai authorities, be it the police or the Chennai Corporation officials. The Indian Air Force too, of course, has not said anything. The show, of course, went on spectacularly well. Everyone enjoyed it, but it was completely chaotic, and people have lost their lives. Several others are undergoing treatment for dehydration and other illnesses. So clearly, somewhere accountability needs to be fixed. There have been gross miscalculation about the number of people that would turn up for this event. Even though the Indian Air Force kept saying that they are expecting around 15 lakh people, the question is, were there necessary arrangements that were put in place for 15 lakh people? That is the big question at this point in time. Chennai has, hosted several big events in the past, and we've seen how traffic is regulated well and crowd management is done properly. But this is probably one of the first events in the recent past that we're seeing when gross mismanagement has happened in terms of the crowd management, in terms of ensuring that basic facilities are put in place for the people who come, because the accounts that we're hearing from the people who attended this air show is simply horrifying, because all of them say that it was chaotic, it was nothing short of a nightmare for all of them to just come back to their homes, just to make their way out of Marina Beach. It took them hours altogether, and to just get some water. It is the locals living in and around Marina that helped these people out, those who were in need. Several of them were sitting on roads, just giving up, because they couldn't take the heat anymore, and they couldn't find a way out of way to go back to their homes. So all of them were sitting on railway stations, on roads. All these visions, of course, played out in Chennai, and the DMK government and other related authorities will have to, of course, now answer as to what went wrong, and will action be taken against officials for this gross negligence and mismanagement.
Shilpa, the other thing that I want to know from you, in terms of crowd behavior, that's also one thing that comes into question at times. Was there any incident, or has there any incident been reported that maybe the crowd behavior wasn't particularly as was expected? Were they told by the management? Were there any sort of directions that were given to them as to what routes they are to take, what guidelines they are to follow? Was there a breach on part of the crowd, or can that safely be ruled out?
As far as the Chennai police is concerned, they did issue an advisory on traffic diversion. They well in advance alerted the people of Chennai that there will be road diversions, considering the fact that a lot of people would come to watch this air show. So the diversions were alerted well in advance, and in fact, advisories were also given by the authorities to the people, asking them to carry an umbrella, to carry a water bottle, and even sunglasses is required, because, like I said, Chennai's weather is quite unforgiving. It's very hard, especially from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. So for that reason, all of these advisories were given. But considering the fact that so many people turned up, it's a Sunday, the Indian Air Force putting up a spectacular show, it is only obvious that people would turn up in large numbers in Marina Beach. It's an open space, it's a long beach as far as Marina Beach is concerned. We've seen in the past as well how during the Jallikat protests also lakhs and lakhs of people gathered at the Marina Beach. So it is only one would have expected the authorities to keep all this in mind and make sure that arrangements are put in place. But somewhere things have gone horribly wrong, and that's the reason why we're seeing loss of human lives and several people undergoing treatment at this point in time, especially for dehydration and other related issues.
Let me go across to AIADMK's Kovai Satyan joining us for more on this. So, how do you firstly look at this incident, and what are your impressions of the management that was done by the DMK government?
When you have an incompetent leader, an incompetent chief minister, a common man has to pay the price. And here the common man has paid the highest price, his life. Whatever importance and the priority they gave to conduct a Formula 4 race car, and when it comes to a common man's event, look at the priority of the DMK. It's a complete misgovernance. There is no interdepartmental coordination. I went with my family. There are no booths to regulate people. There is no public address system to tell the people what's happening. There are no water booths. There is no medical assistance. And in front of my eyes, children are falling. They are suffering seizures. And to call an ambulance, all the ambulances were stationed near the VIP galleries, which is 6 kilometers away. And people are made to walk 5 to 10 kilometers to reach the venue. Can you believe this? Heights of incompetence, playing with the common man's life. There is no water booths. There is no address. There is no public address. There is no personnel to guide. I am asking a policeman why the parking is being regulated this way. He is saying, what can I do when so many people are coming in? This is the response from a cop. And he says, I am clueless. I don't know where is what. When we asked him, can you please tell the nearest assistance to get a medical facility? He says, I don't know. You call ambulance. You call 108. You dial 108, it is there kilometers away. It is not able to come on time. 230 people fell unconscious today. 90 are hospitalized now, 5 have lost their lives. Can't there be any other better example of an incompetent governance? Nobody knows who has been deputed with the task of the event management and planning. At least if they have any amount of empathy, I think the health minister should take moral responsibility and quit. It's a shame. They have put Tamil Nadu on the shame. Today event is of such an importance globally. These guys, because of their incompetence, has put us on shame. Shame on DMK, shame on Stalin and his incompetent ministers.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much for sharing your thoughts here on India Today. Over 200 people complaining of dehydration. A botched up job as far as management is concerned. Visuals on your screen of a stampede-like situation that took place, which has resulted in 3 people losing their lives and 200 plus in the hospitals getting treatment as we speak. Now, earlier we spoke with BJP's Tamilisai Soundarajan, who lashed out at the BJP, at the DMK for poor management at the Marina Air Show. We also spoke with DMK's Salim Dharnidharan. Listen in to what they had to say.
I regret for the loss of life, and I'm really pained to hear about the people affected. Hundreds of people are hospitalized. Even in the evening itself, there was a message that more than 20 to 30 people fainted because of heat and high crowd. There was no any proper arrangement expecting such crowd. The state government should have expected such a crowd, because last time the same show I attended in the Bangalore city. Actually, there was a very good arrangement for public and for other people, and here CM was sitting and watching. But they should have made all arrangements. People came with children because it is a show which is liked by the children. But there was no any special arrangement for children, no water facilities, and because of heat, unable to bear the heat, people have fainted, and hundreds of people have been asked. Actually, it was very, very disheartening to know they should have expected such a crowd and they should have regularized the traffic. Simply some message. No, we have traffic arrangements from this side to that side, this side to that side. Oh, actually, what the government is doing, what the administration is doing, I don't know. Because what the corporation, what was the arrangement? So many ministers are there. What did the deputy chief minister did? They were sitting and seeing the show. Then that time itself they should have predicted it and immediately some arrangement should have been done. Very, very unfortunate. It is one of the highest failure of the DMK government, and it is not the one incident. DMK government is not taking care of anything in the government. Just they want only power politics and they want to win in the elections, but they don't want to do any good thing to the people.
First and foremost, like heartfelt condolences to the bereaved family, right? I think it's a very unfortunate incident, and every loss of life is very precious and it should not happen. But having said that, under DM, there is so many events that have happened, full-class events, where more number of people than this have come, and there have always been fantastic arrangements, and we've even our party youth wing conference, which broke the record last, was fantastically arranged. And again, as per the report, it's this month. October is not the hottest month in Chennai, as you are saying, but climate change and things we can't predict weather, but this is not the hottest season. But again, this is organized by the Air Force, and it is not the Tamil Nadu government told they wanted to create a record. It's not that. I think that's the wrong message that we're communicating. People, out of their own willingness, wanted to come, and we made proper arrangements. But but what I'm not certain is how these mishaps happen. The administration is looking into it and will make sure such incidents will not happen in the future.
I'm going back to Shilpa, my colleague, for more on this story. Shilpa, if you could tell us what exactly is it that's happening right now? Dark in the night, are there still people in distress? Or for now, the traffic's cleared out, people have been able to get their, get back to their homes? What exactly at the Marina Beach, where these visuals on the screen that we see from 1 p.m., how are things at the moment? How have they changed at the Marina Beach right now?
Well, the traffic has eased up a bit, but the fact of the matter is it took several hours for people to get back to their homes. Even in train stations, let it be the local trains or the metro, we saw huge crowds, many of them sitting on the platform, sitting on the stations, just because they're not able to take it. It was a long wait for them to reach their homes. And even by road, those who came by their own vehicles, it was a very, very difficult task for them to reach home. And those were using public transport as well, because the entire core city area was choked up because of the traffic congestion that took place, and that's the reason why it was very, very difficult for people to get back to their homes, because the entire crowd that gathered at Marina Beach, all of them tried to exit around the same time, and that led to complete chaos on the streets of Chennai. And even otherwise, those who came by their own vehicle, they had to park their vehicle 7 kilometers away from Marina Beach. So several such road diversions were also there. So all of this has led to this chaotic situation where now people have lost their lives and many are undergoing treatment. And just a short while back, Tamil Nadu Health Minister Ma Subramaniam has just put out a tweet, a post on social media saying that the Indian Air Force and the Tamil Nadu government had a proper coordination. We were in touch. We were coordinating this entire event. In fact, he said that ambulances were kept on standby and over 7,500 police personnel were on duty today, on bandobast duty to ensure crowd management, etc.
We'll bring our viewers up to speed with the tweet you're talking about, Shilpa. For now, I'm taking a short break, but we're coming back with more on the other side. Stay tuned.
You are watching India Today.
Razr 50 Ultra comes with Google Gemini.
Hoja Rangila Re with Motorola's incredible range of smartphones.
Hello, Moto.
There is so much that's reshaping the electoral landscape of Haryana. Caste dynamics, rural-urban divide, OBC support, Dalit Jat coalitions, internal party wranglings, and then social movements. Some say this is the perfect political storm. Getting you the ground reports in Haryana and joining you in the studio 6 a.m. 8th October, verdict day. It's going to be me, Preeti Chaudhary.
You are watching India Today.
The Marina Beach Air Show in Chennai turned tragic earlier today. At least 3 people and over 200 have been hospitalized. At least 3 people are dead, in fact, and 200 are hospitalized due to dehydration at the air show. Extensive traffic jam and chaos led to a stampede-like situation at the venue. Now, the air show, which aimed to enter the Limca Book of World Records by gathering around 16 lakh people, well, things went tragic over there. It intended to be a thrilling display of Indian Air Force's aerial prowess. Well, it turned out to be tragic as the combination of high temperatures and overcrowding overwhelmed the attendees. Some big questions that this lapse raises. Why attempt such a record in the sweltering heat of Chennai, where there were proper arrangements for water and shade? The other big question, air coolers and best facilities only for the VVIPs. Some of them were there at the venue. There was a stage that was set up. There was air conditioning there. There were coolers there, but nothing for the common man. Where was proper crowd management? Why was that missing? Over 15 lakh people, let's give you more details on that. Over 15 lakh people gathered at the Marina Beach for the air show. There was not enough water for the public that was gathered at the beach. 3 people we believe are dead. Over 200 have been admitted due to dehydration. Those are the details that we have as of now, and some of those visuals on your screen. Let me go across to Shilpa, my colleague, for more. Shilpa, when we look at these visuals, there's only one thing that comes to one's mind, and that is mismanagement. No proper water. In fact, you look at some of those visuals from the nearby metro stations as well. Well, they are also overly swelled, and clearly just to push or a shove away, and one could be landing on the track. That's how full the stations over there are. So multiple questions to be asked, but there's only one way perhaps to sum this: mismanagement.
Well, absolutely. Mismanagement at several levels, if one can say so, because it's, the government authorities, of course, will have to answer, the railway authorities too, because, everyone knew that the Indian Air Force show was happening today, and the Indian Air Force wanted, of course, to set a record of sorts by bringing in a large number of people. At least 15 lakh people is what they expected. They've been doing rehearsals for the last 5 days, and the Chennai airport too, we saw several diversions, the airspace being closed for these rehearsals, etc. So it was known very well in advance that this show is happening. Then the question is, why wasn't enough arrangements being made? That, of course, is the big question at this point in time. Tamil Nadu Health Minister Ma Subramaniam just put out a social media post saying that the government was coordinating well with the Indian Air Force, and several ambulances were kept on standby, and in fact over 7,500 police personnel were on bandobast duty to control the crowd, to manage the crowd, etc. But the fact of the matter is, from the visuals and from what we're hearing from the people and what we saw on ground, things went horribly wrong, especially in terms of managing the crowd, considering the fact that these are people who had come from different parts of the city, and even from outside Chennai, a lot of people had come into the city to watch this spectacular show by Indian Air Force. Not enough arrangements were put in place. Even drinking water was a big task for them to find, and that is what has led to this situation, because the show took place around 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. And that's the time when Chennai is very, very hot and humid. So people standing outdoors for that long, especially in a beach, and without water or without any basic essentials, it's completely difficult. And that's the reason why many, of course, collapsed. Many fainted on the spot. Many of them had to be taken in stretchers. They had to be taken in ambulances to the nearby hospital. Many of them have suffered dehydration, and at least 3 people have lost their lives so far. That's the number that we're getting, but this number could go up, is what we're being told at this point in time by officials. So clearly, somewhere accountability needs to be fixed. What has happened? Where did things go wrong? Was there an intelligence failure in just assessing how many people would turn up for this event? Because it's a Sunday, Marina Beach, of course, even otherwise on a Sunday, we see Marina Beach very crowded. And considering the fact that the IAF was putting up an air show and it was well publicized, it was very, very obvious that people would turn up in large numbers. But was it miscalculated? Was there, a miscalculation on the part of the authorities in terms of assessing how many people would actually turn up for the event? And is that what led to this major chaos? That is the big question. Also, why were these stalls that were selling drinking water and other fruit juices or other liquid items, why were they asked to shut? Of course, there are security reasons, but considering the fact that so many people are gathering in peak noon time, it is only obvious that they would need water. So why wasn't that arrangement being made? In fact, the health minister says toilet arrangements and water arrangements were made for the public, but the sheer number of people that turned up, it was simply inadequate. That is precisely what has unfolded in Chennai. The people came in large numbers, and this was probably not anticipated, and that is the reason why we saw not much of arrangements being made on ground to handle this kind of crowd, be in terms of giving them basic essentials like water, or even regulating the traffic, because it was simply chaotic. What happened in Chennai. In fact, every voice that we hear, those who attended this event, even though they all enjoyed the show, they are all going back with a very bad memory because of the experience that they had to go through. In fact, one of my journalist friends was saying that she had gone there with her family, and they lost her child and they couldn't reach. In fact, the network was also jammed, so nobody could reach people even on phone lines. So you can kind of imagine the kind of situation that would have unfolded in Chennai. So clearly, at this point in time, questions are asked. Asked of the Tamil Nadu government, the Chennai authorities, be it the police or the corporation, and even the Indian Air Force. The question, of course, is whether this event was absolutely necessary. Was it even necessary to hold a record event in Chennai? All of that, of course, needs to be answered at this point in time.
Plenty of questions over there to be answered by the DMK government. In fact, stay with me, Shilpa. We're getting more details on this story. Tamil Nadu BJP chief K. Annamalai has slammed the DMK government. He said that Stalin didn't make enough arrangements for the people. He's said that it's an utter failure of the DMK administration for such an incident to have taken place in the state. Shilpa, pressure now mounting on the DMK government, the BJP not leaving any chance over there as far as cornering the government is concerned in such a scenario. Is there anything we've heard from the DMK as yet? Is there an official statement that's been issued? Could you tell us more on that?
Well, as far as the opposition parties are concerned, they're going all guns blazing against the DMK government, and rightfully so, because what has happened is complete chaos and mismanagement, and that is what the opposition parties are questioning. In fact, they are asking as to how the DMK government managed to conduct a car race properly, because that was a pet project, a dream project of Deputy Chief Minister Udayanidhi Stalin. Whereas the Indian Air Force show, there was complete mismanagement, and they're saying that authorities showed a lot of negligence in making sure that proper arrangements, because it was proper arrangements were lacking, and this goes on to show the negligence of the officials and the authorities is what the opposition parties, of course, are now alleging and accusing the DMK government of, and they are, of course, demanding accountability. On the side of the DMK government, it is only the health minister that has now reacted to this particular controversy. This what has happened today. He, of course, says enough arrangements were made by the government and in coordination with the Indian Air Force, but clearly the arrangements were not enough, and that is the visuals that we're getting from the ground are proof of that. And tomorrow, of course, we are expecting more detailed answers from the Chennai Police, the Chennai Corporation, and probably even the Indian Air Force as to what went wrong. Was there a lack in coordination? Was there miscommunication? Was there an intelligence failure in just assessing how many people would turn up? All of that, we'll of course put these questions to the authorities concerned tomorrow morning itself. But for now, it is only the health minister who has said that over 7,500 police personnel were on duty to manage the crowd, to ensure that everything went on properly without any law and order issues. But the questions, of course, are being asked to the DMK government, because many are questioning, for instance, actor politician Vijay, who's all set to hold his first state conference in Vikravandi in Viluppuram on October 27. They are also expecting a huge crowd to gather. And in that case, the police took a long time to give them permission, asking them over 21 questions as to how they're going to manage the crowd, how they're going to manage the people who are going to come in. So they're saying, if you're showing so much of caution in that case, why didn't that happen in the case of the Indian Air Force show? Why didn't the same priority apply for the Indian Air Force show? Is the question that many are also asking as to how this has happened, and why was there no proper planning or management or coordination from the side of the authorities, given the fact that this is the Indian Air Force show, and the Indian Air Force itself said that they were anticipating around 15 lakh people to come to the Marina Beach today.
Okay, Shilpa, just stay on. Before we move forward, I want to play out for our viewers a report filed by my colleague Pramod Madhav, who visited the Marina Beach before the mishap to cover the security arrangements for the Grand Air Show. Listen in to this report by my colleague Pramod.
As a part of the 92nd year anniversary of the Indian Air Force, one program that is going to happen is here. There you see that is one of the targets where the commandos of the Indian Air Force will go ahead and conduct a search and rescue operation. That's going to be, the participants of them are actually the Garud commandos that you can see over there also. One of them is providing security for us over here. And look at the way he's dressed, armed to the teeth. These are the commandos, special forces, who are completely ready for any kind of situation. They carry state-of-the-art bullpup weapons and also sidearms and anything that is required for communication such. Everything will be on them. Even we saw one of the commandos actually carrying a a grenade launcher in their weapon as well. So these are the commandos who actually are part of the special forces of the Indian Air Force, which was created in 2004, and their main aspect is search and rescue, counter-insurgency, and also to protect the air bases of the Indian government. And that's the reason they are completely anytime ready, and they are prepared for any kind of situation at all time. And they have been also placed over here to provide us with security at this spot. Daniel, Pramod Madhav for India Today.
Let me in fact bring in Pramod over here. Pramod, from the time that you were there, we just played out your report. From the time that you were at the Marina Beach, you filed that report. When exactly is it that things went out of hand, and what exactly is it on the ground that changed from the time you left and to the time that the mishap took place?
Arjit, we have to say this actual event went for nearly a week, and Indian Air Force was conducting repeated rehearsals day after day, and like almost 5,000 to 10,000 people gathered at the spot every day, and there was no kind of issue. But today the number was extremely high, almost 15 lakh people, and they have also right now they have a link of book of records as well as we have been told. The fact is that like when 15 lakh people came over there, they already assembled around 8 a.m. in the morning. The show was by 11 a.m. and was supposed to end by 1 p.m. And after, like, this is the part when the situation almost turned kind of like unfortunate because around 10 a.m. itself, the sun started to like seriously burn and it was complete sand everywhere. And the people were sitting on the ground, like they were on the sand all the time. And by the time it was 1 p.m., we could not find not much of drinking water or anything like that. And the crowd was actually on the either the right side or the left side of the place where the VIPs were made to sit. So that particular area was completely vacant, and this actually reduced a spot where the people could actually gather. Imagine 15 lakh people in that kind of like area. And so when they were allowed to leave, people were in a hurry. They poured into the road, and that's when situation turned really bad because people had to like almost 3 hours. People were waiting on the road. They could not move to any end because on one side you have the Madras University near Chepok. That end was completely closed. And on the other hand, that is the DGP office. Even people could not reach very quickly to that spot. And this is where, unfortunately, many suffered from dehydration and complete exhaustion. Even we were caught in that one. And we had to almost it took almost 1 hour and 40 minutes for us to cross 2.5 kilometers. Imagine people who are having their children and elderly personnel along with them, Arjit.
Okay, in all of this, Pramod, if you can tell me, what exactly were your observations in terms of the number of entry and exit points and facilities? Was there an impression that clearly from the word go, they were underprepared, they didn't take into account the management, that they'd be seeing such a number of people turn up? And what exactly did you see in terms of people coming in to the venue at that time?
One thing is for very certain, it's very clear that the state government was not much prepared for this kind of event because like 15 lakh people gathering at one spot is not an easy event. And even though right now the health minister has said that all measures were taken, they were like having multiple discussions with the Air Force to provide any kind of cooperation. He also has said that 7,500 police were deployed at this spot. Imagine the number of public was 15 lakh and the police deployed were 7,500. And most of them were at the area to protect actually the VIPs as well because the chief minister, deputy chief minister, various ministers were over there. So what about the public is the question that's being asked. The health minister, Mas Subramaniam, says that like adequate toilet facilities, drinking water facilities and ambulances were placed by the Tamil Nadu government and by the armed forces as well. But the problem is that the ambulances could not move to any direction because once the VIPs left the spot, it completely turned into chaos. And as we were walking, I'm talking from my own experience. As I was walking through that road, I actually saw Marina Road, one road that is considered to be one of the pride of the Chennai. People were sitting on either side, unable to move because they were completely exhausted. That is when I got kind of little scared, okay, the situation has gone out of hand. But even at that point, we thought that people will the crowd will start moving and everything will get sorted. But it did not happen that way. As we were a little bit strong, we could actually cross 2.5 kilometers carrying our equipment and such in 1 hour and 40 minutes. But those people, they couldn't. And they were nearly for almost 3 hours, they stranded over there without water. And this is when I have to tell you again, this is when the people from that area, those residents actually helped them, gave them water and tried, they have literally saved quite a lot of lives. And that's as well. We also have visuals of what is happening, just people walking by and being provided by strangers water because they know the value of water in hot sun of Chennai. And this is where it looks like situation has completely went out of hand. And unfortunately, lives were lost, Arjit.
That's right. Pramod, don't go anywhere. We're going to be giving our viewers the very latest on this as we continue to track it very closely. Now, earlier we spoke with BJP's Tamilisai Soundarajan and AIA-DMK's Kovai Satyan, who lashed out at the DMK government for poor management at the Marina Airshow. We also spoke with DMK's and managed to get a reaction out of Salem Dharnidharan. Listen in to what all three had to say.
I regret for the loss of life. And I'm really pained to hear about the people affected. Hundreds of people are hospitalized. even in the evening itself, there was a message that more than 20 to 30 people fainted because of heat and a high crowd. There was no any proper arrangements expecting such crowd. The state government should have expected such a crowd, because last time the same show I attended in the Bangalore city. Actually, there was a very good arrangement for public and for other people. And here, CM was sitting and watching. But they should have made all arrangements. People came with children because it is a show which is liked by the children. But there was no any special arrangement for children, no water facilities. And because of heat, unable to bear the heat, people have fainted and hundreds of people have been asked. Actually, it was very, very disheartening to know they should have expected such a crowd and they should have regularized the traffic. Simply some message. No, we have traffic arrangements from this side to that side, this side to that side. Oh, actually, what the government is doing, what the administration is doing, I don't know. Because what the corporation, what was the arrangement? So many ministers are there. What did the deputy chief minister did? They were sitting and seeing the show. Then that time itself they should have predicted it and immediately some arrangement should have been done. Very, very unfortunate. It is one of the highest failure of the DMK government, and it is not the one incident. DMK government is not taking care of anything in the government. Just they want only power politics and they want to win in the elections, but they don't want to do any good thing to the people.
When you have an incompetent leader, an incompetent chief minister, a common man has to pay the price. And here the common man has paid the highest price, his life. Whatever importance and the priority they gave to conduct a Formula 4 race car, and when it comes to a common man's event, look at the priority of the DMK. It's a complete misgovernance. There is no interdepartmental coordination. I went with my family. There are no booths to regulate people. There is no public address system to tell the people what's happening. There are no water booths. There is no medical assistance. And in front of my eyes, children are falling. They are suffering seizures. And to call an ambulance, all the ambulances are stationed near the VIP galleries, which is 6 kilometers away. And people are made to walk 5 to 10 kilometers to reach the venue. Can you believe this? Heights of incompetence, playing with the common man's life. There is no water booths. There is no address. There is no public address. There is no personnel to guide. I am asking a policeman why the parking is being regulated this way. He is saying, what can I do when so many people are coming in? This is the response from a cop. And he said, I am clueless. I don't know where is what. When we asked him, can you please tell the nearest assistance to get a medical facility? He says, I don't know. You call ambulance, you call 108. You dial 108, it is there kilometers away. It is not able to come on time. 230 people fell unconscious today. 90 are hospitalized now, 5 have lost their lives. Can't there be any other better example of an incompetent governance? Nobody knows who has been deputed with the task of the event management and planning. At least if they have any amount of empathy, I think the health minister should take moral responsibility and quit. It's a shame.
Firstly and foremost, like heartfelt condolences to the bereaved family, right? I think it's a very unfortunate incident, and every loss of life is very precious and it should not happen. But having said that, under DM, there is so many events that have happened, full-class events, where more number of people than this have come, and there have always been fantastic arrangements, and we've even our party youth wing conference, which broke the record last, was fantastically arranged. Again, as per your report, this month, October is not the hottest month in Chennai, as you are saying, but climate change and things we can't predict weather, but this is not the hottest season. But again, this is organized by the Air Force, and it is not the Tamil Nadu government told they wanted to create a record. It's not that. I think that's the wrong message that we're communicating. People, out of their own willingness, wanted to come, and we made proper arrangements. But but what I'm not certain is how these mishaps happen. The administration is looking into it and will make sure such incidents will not happen in the future.
That's all in this edition of news, but in case you're looking for more, do go on to the India Today website. You can also download the app.
You are watching India Today.
Motorola Razr 50 Ultra comes with Google Gemini.
हो जा रंगीला रे with Motorola's incredible range of smartphones.
Hello, Moto.
Motorola Razr 50 Ultra comes with Google Gemini.
Hi, I am AI anchor Sana, bringing the top headlines for you, presented by Motorola. FIR against AAP MLAs after uproar over the martial issue in Delhi, case against Saurabh Bharadwaj too. CM Yogi launches logo of Prayagraj Mahakumbh, meets sadhus, says saints to refrain from making negative statements. 10 doctors fired by Kolkata's Ajikar Hospital, many charges including ragging. 43 will have to vacate hostel, 6 doctors on hunger strike.
Motorola Razr 50 Ultra comes with Google Gemini.
हो जा रंगीला रे with Motorola's incredible range of smartphones.
Hello, Moto.